Good morning and welcome back to WKNI TV 25. Our guest this morning, the Honorable Mayor Earl Johnson. Boy, we covered some territory, but there's still so much to cover.
Yeah.
We're talking. Let's jump over to the airport real quick, because right next to that is the other place I want to talk about, which is the industrial park. Right. And airport, it's part of our infrastructure, something that everybody looks at. We've got HeliPro over there. They expanded. They're hiring people. Right. There's some good paying jobs here. You mentioned LBW. And Dr. Rydell yesterday mentioned that they got the welding class.
Yeah.
And there's people making 6 digits out of that welding class when they get out and go out and find jobs. So how's the incubator over there? How's things going? Economic development? Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, of course, you know, we've got Rick Clifton on there as the executive for our Covenant County Economic Development Commission, and Rick is working hard trying to develop prospects and leads for our community, and we have several. We're not any that we're ready to talk about specifically right now, but we've got some businesses coming into Andalusia, some retail businesses, some food businesses, restaurant stuff, and that kind of stuff that we're working with. The incubator is located where his office is, and it's designed to bring in a young startup company, give them a place where they can kind of operate with low overhead until they get their business built up, and then they move out. Right now, we don't have anyone in the incubator system, but incubator program, but it's there, and we will have. I mean, it's just a matter of time. That's what it's there for, is to be there when a need arises. We also, of course, have the Ozark Aviation School that is out there teaching these classes we talked about earlier with respect to aviation, teaching folks how to become aircraft mechanics, and again, those are some of those high-paying jobs that are going to be available and are available right now at Vector Aerospace and DRS eventually when they get a contract to go to work. Vector Aerospace is doing extremely well. I met a couple of weeks ago with their General Manager, Mr. Rick Pataki, and Rick is very excited about where they are and how they're situated and the amount of business they got coming in and their whole operation. He's very excited about it. In fact, they're setting up, and there'll be some announcements about this in the near future about an open house out there that they're going to be hosting to show off the new facility that we built for them. They basically double their size, and actually more than double their size. So that'll be coming up in the near future, and they'll be making that announcement, and we look forward to that.
I don't know where I come up with some of these names I shout out here, but I only have 1 or 2 things on my mind. But Vector Aerospace is the correct name, and I apologize for misrepresenting that. But there's a fine group of people. There's a lot of employees out there. Yeah. I don't know what the count is. I don't care. I just know there's a lot.
I think they're up to around 175 now, something like that.
I remember when they just had like 20 or 30.
Oh, I remember when they had 2 or 3. Yeah. I mean, I have to go back to the HeliPro days when it started out as HeliPro. Yeah. It was basically we're working in a lean-to, and now they've got one of the finest facilities in the country. And
they do everything there to helicopters. I mean, I've seen them stripped all the way down. They overhaul them. They paint them. They put them all back together, avionics and the whole 9 yards. So we're blessed. There's a lot of jobs in that. Then the continuation of that is in Ozark, okay, because the other business over there and the school being here. Let's jump over there. Well, we have the expansion of the runway, which was a wonderful grant.
Right.
We had a beautiful addition out there to the runway and the infrastructure of the airport. I guess let me just reiterate this. A city that grows and grows well has some kind of port, whether it be a seaport or an airport, okay, or a trucking, what do you call it? Anyway, we're a trucking business in the community and a rail business in the community. We don't have the seaport, but we've got everything else.
Yeah, we don't have a seaport. We don't have a river that's navigable in the sense that you can ship goods up and down it. But we do have one of the finest general aviation airports in the country.
Right.
And that, that's just not Earl Johnson saying that. That's said by many people, including the director of the state aviation department, so our airport is, quite frankly, the heartbeat of our industrial assets, and it continues to grow. Sometimes the growth is from the outsider, from someone on the outside looking in, it appears to be slow, and it is, but in comparison to other things. But these are big ticket items, and they move slow sometimes. And we're excited to have Vector. We're excited to have DRS. We're excited to have the Ozark Aviation School there. We're excited to have the incubator located there, and now we've got Fort Rooker has come back now and put a temporary portable flight control. That's important, because we hope that will develop into a permanent air control center back at our airport, because that's an important safety issue, as well as it brings traffic to our airport, and which allows us to sell fuel and other services to them. So we think that's going to happen. It's going to take some time again, but look, all these things, we're not going out of business. Right. We got a long time to work on these things, and we're continually trying to develop new avenues to bring jobs and revenue to our community.
Well, Mayor, when you talk about the airport like that, again, it's somebody coming in to do business, wants to do trade or business here. It's another plus to the infrastructure. You mentioned DRS, and I know this became a issue months back with some individuals. There's a $30,000, I believe, note or something.
It's more than that, but it's a substantial monthly payment. DRS has made every payment on time without question, and they've also made improvements to the hangar. So we feel like that they will eventually get a contract and start hiring folks out there, and we're happy DRS is here, and we're going to work with them to keep them here, and it's just a matter of time. Again, these things move. It's slow. We know what's going on in Congress with respect to spending and how that's going to impact these folks, and some of these businesses are kind of just hanging back to see where this is going to go. So if you want to talk about how we're impacted on what goes on in Washington, this is something you can look at. So yeah, this is being impacted.
Well, I guess a lot of people don't know this. I had my aviation experience with federal government contractors. I worked for Lockheed Marietta in Burbank for a period of time on the Stealth F-117. I came out of the military. I was trained in certain things, and they just took me right in. During that time, I watched the B-1 bomber. I watched several major aircraft that companies lose the government contracts. I mean, it's just like that, okay? And everybody has to flush around, is what I used to call it, and it's a contract situation. You have to have the right bids in, you have to have the right timing in, and the government's got to be willing to do it. And
well, we're working with a company. DRS is not they're not new kids on the block. They've been involved in this business. They've
got places all over the world.
They got places, and they're working. They know what they're doing, and they'll get things worked out, and we'll see our some
no doubt. And most importantly, right now that note's being paid.
Exactly.
And there's improvements being done at the hangars as well. Yeah. All right, Mayor, right next door, just over a little hill and a little bit of grass over there, there's a place that we call the Industrial Park.
Right.
All right. I want to talk real quick about something you mentioned to me, that last night during the council meeting, a position was filled. And can you tell us who that was? And what
we have the Industrial Development Board is a long-standing board with the City of Andalusia. And the Industrial Development Board is involved with issuing industrial development bonds, recruitment of businesses and industry to our community, and the Industrial Development Park is part of what the IDB is involved with, and we had an opening because of a gentleman who was on that, Mr. Farrell Walton, who served so faithfully with our IDB retired from Power South and is moving to Birmingham. And so we had an opening, and Mr. Seth Hammett, former Speaker of the House, former Director of Alabama Development Office, and now employed at Power South in Business Recruitment Development, has agreed to take that position on our board, and we're very excited about that. And we appreciate Seth's willingness to step up and, again, serve his community, as he's always done.
Well, I'll tell you, that man just don't quit serving. He's a great gentleman, and he's certainly a public servant from the heart. But I'm excited because everything he touches turns to gold. Well,
Seth is Seth is a very talented individual. He's got more experience in industrial development, business recruitment development, that kind of stuff. The connections that he has all over the country, quite frankly, more than anybody in the state, probably, if you really got down to it. So he's going to be a real asset for us. He's always stepped up when asked to do so. And again, this is nickels and dimes to him, right, serving on our industrial development board. But it's something that's not beneath him. It's something he says he wants to do, and we're just so appreciative that he's agreed to do that. And we feel like he, again, will be a great asset and will give us a lot of help as we move forward with industrial development and recruitment.
Is there any open spec buildings or anything over there right now?
No. Well, yes, there is. The old Say Hey Sung building is empty. I say it's empty. We're allowing Say Hey Sung to use it as some storage stuff right now, but
they're still here.
They're in their new building,
right?
But they're using the old building for some storage of some equipment and stuff that they don't have room for in their new building. But that building is available for rent or for lease or for purchase, for that matter. And we've had some people looking at it. The other building is now occupied. So everything except the first spec building is occupied out there.
Well, all I can say is, Mayor, I don't think it'll be empty very long with Seth behind the helm over there, and there's a lot of property over there ready for development, and I think that's going to start popping up as well.
Well, that, and we're completing up another major improvement to our industrial park, where we put adequate water supply out there and sewer throughout the entire park, sanitary sewer, and
more infrastructure.
Redid the streets, resurfaced the streets, and improved them. And so we've got a real industrial park now, not just a piece of land calling it an industrial park. It really is an industrial park, and we will move forward on development of that. And we've got some other sites in town that we'll continue to work on. So we still got plenty to do.
Well, Mayor, we're at the top of the hour coming up here, and we're going to give you a few minutes to talk about whatever you want to, but I just want to say this. With people like yourself, Dr. Rydell, Jimmy Holly, Mike Jones Jr., Seth Hammett, and I'm leaving out others, Mayor Bartholomew in Opp, Mayor Williamson in Florella, that type of forward thinking is going to move this community in this county. And I want to say thank you. It's always an honor to have you here on TV with us and our viewers. But you're doing a wonderful job. And, second term in there, no holds barred. The bulldozer's running forward. And that's you. Yeah.
Well, there is something I'd like to mention before we finish today. People have been hearing us talk about the Miracle League, which is a base softball field that's under construction at Johnson Park, and it's designed for children with special needs. And we have raised almost enough money to complete that project, but we still need to raise some more to finish it up. So just doing a shout out to all those who might be listening or watching today, that there's still an opportunity to contribute to the Miracle League and be a part of an exciting and a great project that's going to serve the needs of a lot of children and folks who have been unable up to this point to participate in competitive sports. And it's a great facility. We've already got the field in place as far as the playing surface. and we've put the infrastructure in for the playground. We're working on that. We're going to build a pavilion out there that'll be near that for picnics and birthday parties and things like that. It's going to be known as the Duke Smith Pavilion.
Wow.
and named in his honor. And so, we got projects going on all over, but that Miracle League park is something I think that Andalusia, again, is going to, everybody's hearts are going to swell a little bit when they see that, when it's completed, but we still need some more help. So if you haven't made a gift to Miracle League, or you want to make a pledge, all you got to do is call City Hall and say, hey, I want to do something for Miracle League, and we'll get your information and get it to you.
Teresa, I want you to write a check out for $100 to the Miracle Field before this mayor leaves, okay? We're jumping up.
All right, I'm going to stay right here till I get that.
Oh,
okay?
you're going to get it. She's going to get it for you.
All right.
And we're proud to be a part
and
of it.
by the way, let me not forget to mention this tax deductible. This is
Oh, okay. Well,
this
that'll
is the Rotary Foundation is handling the money going through the Rotary Foundation, so it's a 501c3 tax deductible gift. So and we appreciate that.
Well, we appreciate what you're doing. We appreciate what the recreation's doing over there. That's a special gift from us, Mayor. You don't know it, but my brother was a quadriplegic.
Yeah.
And so this hits very close to home. Yeah. And so with all that being said, we want to thank you for coming on. And folks, there's a lot going on out there. Look around the city. We got something to be proud of. Mayor, thank you for coming on. God bless you.
Thank you.
Keep it real.
Keep it real. Yeah.
Keep God in it. God bless you, and we'll see you tomorrow.